We all talk about an awakening. We all talk about a new earth, you know. And in other cultures and religions, they do so as well. They're just all these different wordings and definitions and ideas of what that will look like and how it happens and when it happens and so forth. But they're all very interconnected, you know, man's way, the human's way of trying to comprehend itself. But what we are doing, what we are living, and what we are being in this very now, yes, yes, is the awakening, is the implementation of the new earth. It is frequency, it is vibration that is in that resonance. And when we allow that resonance in our frequency, as our vibration, that is how you birth a new earth. That is how you experience a new world.
Hello. How are you?
Hello, hello. Oh, I'm so grateful to be this space with you, Holy One. I'm so
I
grateful to be
well,
this space. How are you?
I am well, thank you. How
Good.
are you?
I am well. I am well. Thank you. So I love the way the video came out. Did you like
I
that?
do like it, yes.
Awesome.
I'm very demonstrative, but that's who I am. I
I
thought I'm going to try to stop that a little bit in videos, and then I thought, as Andrea says, love me as I am. This is who I am.
No, I think you're perfect. I think you're perfect. I loved the space. I watched it back over again this morning in the final version that I had sent to you.
Yes.
And I really felt like it was such an important message. You relate it so beautifully, so lovingly, and so powerfully. I thought it was fantastic that we even brought that space in to offer the energy movement and expansion, activation. I loved your light language. It was it was the spirit of the holiest of holies. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, I felt that all over again, that space, watching it again yesterday. It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
For being this space as well. Um, and we'll just allow it to be, yes, whatever would be the most beneficial to bring to the world, to bring to whoever finds it, you know? So I'm so grateful for this. Thank you, Trudy, for being this space. Yes, so if it's all right with you, I feel like it would be really good before we start the space that we'll probably take for the video itself, if you and I just breathe for a minute and
Yeah.
just allow our connection, yes, of our souls, of our consciousness, yes, just allowing the space, yes, blessing the space together, holding the intention together, yes, with our divinity, with our sovereignty, we create together with the teams of light, with the divine itself in all its forms. We create the perfect message delivered in the perfect timing for all who are ready to hear. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Just allow the breath. We're just going to allow this space to continue, and we're going to be this space together. All who are connecting in now, in whatever way you're finding this space, just breathe right now. Yes, just breathe. This is a message to you from you. This is a message. This is an activation. This is a reconnection of your divinity in your now. We hold this alignment with you, Divine One. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we hold this alignment with you now. Breathe, please. Yes. Allow the space. Yes, allow your remembrance. You've questioned so many spaces of the path, of the journey, and you've trusted so many spaces of yourself to walk through the questions, unwavering in your faith. Yes, and now here you are. Yes, yes, you are unfolding you, Holy One. Yes, you are remembering. Yes, and allowing you. Yes, breathe, please. We hold this space with you. Just allow. Yes, just breathe. For some of you, it's emotion. Yes, deep running emotion, love, peace, home, gratitude, remembrance. Yes, 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 yes. Some of you are clearing from your kidneys. Yes, the left kidney especially right now. Releasing, yes, past frustrations. Holy ones, just breathe. Many clearing the back, the middle of the back, the top of the back, the shoulders, the weight of the world at one time or another felt by you. Yes, you are allowing that to go. Yes. Yes, you are allowing, yes, your sovereign rise. Yes. Yes, just allow the breath, please. Yes. Gloriously, beautifully done. Yes. Yes, thank you, Holy One. Huge clearing in the neck going on right now. Right side especially. Divine Masculine in all spaces of its experience. The way in which you connect with the masculine. Yes, the father, the brother, the uncle, the friend, the love. Yes, clearing that now. Moving that now. Yes, realigning that now. Let it go, Holy One. It's all connected into your shoulder, the top of your back, the neck. It's the entire space. It's like a grip of energy, a grip of alignment, of thought process, belief structures that are all being allowed to go into the next level. They're all being allowed to shift. Let them shift. Let yourself shift. Let the collective shift. Yes. Just allow the breath, please. Just allow the breath. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, how glorious. Yes, thank you. Opening the crown. Yes, intend it, envision it. I open my crown that I may know the truth. Yes, allow. Yes, breathe. Yeah. Ha. Yes. Beautiful. You're bringing in your remembrance. You're bringing in your higher consciousness, your I am reconnection, your essence, your core. You're bringing in your divinity. You are divine in form. There's no separation. There is a space of understanding throughout human history that has lived in its separated vibration or a separated self, and that is no longer the case.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for that. Holy ones, yes, just breathe, please. Yes, thank you. Breathe. Yes, allow the space. Unity consciousness, that's the vibration you are aligning, activating, implementing in this now as you hear my voice. Unity consciousness, breathe. Yes, you are in their eyes and they are in yours. Yes, allow. Yes, allow. Allow, trust, lean in, release, let go, surrender. Yes. Yes. Breathe. Yes, breathe. Yes. New level, Holy One. New alignment, new creation point, new reflection, new perspective, new interpretation, new thought process, new cycles of behavior, new understanding of your personality traits in this alignment of you that is new. Yes, it is new. Your words are new. Yes, your actions are new. Your thoughts are new. Your feelings are new. You direct the space of connection you choose to be. Breathe, please. Breathe. You are sovereign. You are eternal. You are here to have a now. To first and foremost expand your own personal space of alignment and then to allow that connection throughout the entire connection of consciousness. Breathe. 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 Yes, purple flooding in, waves of light, purple flooding in, light language and symbols and signs. Yes, shapes flooding in, sacred geometry flooding in. Why? It's your information. It's your information. It's your remembrance. Breathe, please. Yes. Allow the space. Yes. The body's calibrating now. Let the body catch up. Yes. Your systems of your body. Yes. Your respiratory, your nervous, your lymphatic. Yes. Your bones, your marrow, your cells, your DNA. Oh, glorious anchoring going on. Thank you. All of the spaces of the biological makeup, the temple that houses the light, is recalibrating, resetting. It knows exactly what to do. You know exactly what to do. Breathe. Yes, you are the ancient ones. Yes, you have returned to the earth for this very now. Yes, it is a purpose beyond comprehension. Yes, you can allow. Yes, you can trust. Yes, you can be the space. Yes. Ha! Allow your breath. Yes. 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 Allow the space. Yes, we're blessing the root lines. We're blessing the root center. We're blessing the legs. We're blessing the deepening of the grounding for the body, for the being. Allow the space. Yes, it is big, but you're bigger. That's why it has to be so big. It has to be big enough for you. It has to be big enough for you. That's how big you are. That's how vast you are. Breathe. Allow the space. Yes, truly bless our space with your words, your languages of light, please.
ooh, ooh, ah, here, ooh, dear, ooh, ooh, yato.
Allow the breath. Beautiful grounding energies here. Just breathe them in. Calming energies, grounding energies, assisting the higher flow of you. This is you, Holy Ones. Yes, this is who you are. Breathe. Yes. Allow the space. Some of you will feel the energy in your back, right in the center between your shoulder blades. Those are your wings of light. Many of you are aware of them. Some of you, this is new. You have wings of light, Holy Ones. You found your way here. You have wings of light. And as you be you and trust you and allow you, those wings of light come forth from your being. Yes, out your back. And they are your field. Yes. And they are a way in which you run your flow. And you are the divine in form. Just allow the space. For those of you very familiar with the wings, or for those who are willing to lean in even further than they ever have, envision those wings coming out the back, please. Your wings. Yes, of light. Allow them, direct them, envision them coming around the front of you. Yes, they're your wings. You can do with them. They will only move when you tell them to. You do with them what you will, but pull them around the front of your being. Allow them to touch one another, the wings of light that are yours in front of your being, facing you. And you know what that is. It's a blessing of your being on all levels. It's a calibration of your systems on all levels, yes, to their divine alignment. Just hold the alignment, hold the visual, hold the intention, allow the space. Some of you seen a lot of colors coming in, purples and blues and golds. Yes, just allow, just breathe. Some of you can feel the energy moving in your stomach, your chest, your throat, your head. Just breathe. Just allow. Yes. Just be the space. Yes. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Pull the wings back around to the sides of your body now, in your visual. Allow yourself to kind of feel into them. Whatever that is for you. Allow yourself to envision them moving to the right and moving to the left as they are on either side of you, the left wing and the right wing, and you're letting them move. Yes, you're letting them move. Yes, you're feeling into what that feels like, and you're allowing, you're trusting, and you're being this space of you. Breathe. Yes. Oh, Holy One, as you do this, as you allow this, yes, the I Am expands into the now. Yes. How beautiful. Thank you for allowing. Thank you for trusting. Yes. Thank you for coming to this now. You bring your wings back in close to your body, in your visual, in your intention. You don't have to put them back in ever again in this now. If you choose to, you can allow yourself to function as and live as and be this space of a you that is divine in form, that has wings of light. Allow the breath. Very big opening of energy at the back of the head. Yes. Understanding of the energy center at the base of the skull, referred to throughout human history in many spaces as the mouth of God, We also in this space call it the mouth of the I am. Yes. 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 It's opening right now and moving into a newer level of alignment. And this is your connection point of this space of you. Yes. Yes. Just breathe, please. Yes. And just allow. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Now, if you could, as we begin to close this particular space, if you could just envision with your inner knowing, your imagination, I want you to see your life. Yes, in this now, whatever that looks like to you, the people that make up your life, the places that make up your life, the things that you do, and the ways you be you. I want you to see as much of it as you can, whatever comes to your knowing. And then I want you to understand and see and allow the visual, yes, of you blessing all of those, you directing the blessing to all of those spaces of your life, your being, your now. I bless my life. I bless my life. Yes, yes, breathe. I bless my life. That's all of the people, that's all of the places, the spaces of you. Yes! Your loved ones are all around you, Holy One. Yes! I feel their presence. Those that are no longer in your physical world, they're right here. They're right here, loving you, cheering you on, admiring the way you are leaning in and trusting yourself. They're right here, and they are safe, and they are loved, and they are joyful. For me to share with you that they are right here. They are right here. Allow your breath. Allow the space. Blessing your feet, blessing your root lines. I bless my roots, they anchor deep. I ground my flow into the new earth now. I am the new earth. Yes, now. And there shall be a new heaven and a new earth. Yes, Holy One. Ha! Yes. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Now just allow your breath. We're going to bring the focus back to the physical sight. Just allow your breath. Yes! Gentle breath. Your rhythm, your way. Breathe. Begin to bring the focus back as you're ready. And if you're not ready for any reason, just stay in as long as you want. And when you do bring your focus back, and you open your physical eyes, whenever that is, you're going to allow yourself to make a notation of your vibration is new. You're going to make a notation. You're going to acknowledge, yes, my vibration is new. Just allow the breath as you allow the space. Yes! As you allow the acknowledgement. Now there's a lot of things that happened in that space we just were together, and we are still together in the now. Let's talk about it just a little bit, please. Yes! So there's a layer of self-expansion, self-healing, and self-work or shifting of the energy for the individual being. That is always first and foremost. It can't be available to anything else if it is not available in the individual space of alignment. It'd be like trying to pour water from a pitcher that's empty. You can't do it. But you fill up the pitcher with the water, and you can pour that water out for anyone else to have as well. Yes, so what we did was an individual space of expansion for whoever chooses to connect, and you can reconnect if you feel to as well. As many times as you want, go as deep as you want to go. But then because it's in us, because we allowed the space for ourselves, and we are an increment, a variation point within the many variation points, the many increments of prime consciousness, source consciousness, origin point, essence, God, goddess, whatever word you're using, Holy Spirit, Great Spirit. Because it's in us, it is now available in all the spaces of the one. Yes, within the many. Yes. In this community that we have, Acasma Family of Light community, and beyond that, in the general spiritual communities, we all talk about an awakening. We all talk about a new earth, you know. And in other cultures and religions, they do so as well. They're just all these different wordings and definitions and ideas of what that will look like and how it happens and when it happens and so forth. But they're all very interconnected, you know, man's way, the human's way of trying to comprehend itself. But what we are doing, what we are living, and what we are being in this very now, yes, yes, is the awakening, is the implementation of the new earth. It is frequency, it is vibration that is in that resonance. And when we allow that resonance in our frequency, as our vibration, that is how you birth a new earth. That is how you experience a new world. You vibrate it through the way you think. You emanate it through the way you speak. Yes. It flows through your actions. And when we were in that activation space together, and I asked Trudy to allow her languages of light. Thank you for blessing us with them, Trudy. That was an incredibly sacred space that you blessed us with. Everyone has the opportunity, the availability, yes, to speak their languages of light. They can also be called soul messages. They can also be called speaking in tongues. I like to also call them languages of the universe. If you are speaking and you're allowing and it's flowing, awesome. And if it's not happening and you want it to happen, just allow you to be you right where you are right now. And that space can open up for you because you're allowing it the ability, the space, the flow of energy that is non-judgmental. It's not gripping. I want it. It's not happening. If you're allowing, yes, the space of you just the way you are, then these vast spaces of you can come in. We're learning how to be able to do that in all the ways we're being us. It's not just light language, it's living a life that's abundant in all ways. We're financially free, we have good health, relationships are strong and healthy. We're learning that that is a natural state of existence. That those spaces are our true birthright. They are who we are at our essence. But we've gotten distracted by belief structures and some programming that came in along the way that was the teaching of fear. And so when you come into the teaching of fear, you come into a slower vibrational flow of existence. So the reflection one creates is then at a slower flow of reflection. But that's why they call it the awakening, because we woke up and we said, wait a minute, wait a minute. My thoughts have power. My words have power. My feelings have power. My actions have power. They are the way in which I, yes, exhibit or flow my divine into my and through my form. And the more that's allowed and embraced, the more the divine shows up through us, as us. And the more that happens, the more it comes into the reflection. Does this make sense? So whoever found this space and however you found it, welcome, 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 welcome. We just made a video the other day. I just shared it, and it is a understanding and an experience Trudy had that I consider a new human, new way of growing and learning ourselves, connected with a near-death experience, pretty much. And it's a very powerful video that assists so much. Thank you, Trudy, for sharing it with us. It assists so much in releasing a lot of the possible fears that might be available, as we said, with the programming of the fear around being in a situation with a lot of emotions. Trudy mentioned having to navigate not only feeling her own, but she could pick up on her family members as well. And maintaining, I loved when Trudy mentioned that. She said she chose not to feed those spaces and to redirect her focus to holding peace, holding the alignment of surrender to trust. And so I believe that's why it went the way it went completely. So we wanted to come back in here and share some more spaces with you guys. And I'm open to go in any direction that we go, which we already have pretty much, but that had to happen right off the bat. But Trudy, you are in a lot of the spaces I offer and I hold. Um, and we've done some videos together before, but some people might be brand new to the space and they may just not have any idea who I am or who you are or any of that. So the work I do is here to, it's energy work and it's teaching, yes, to help humans remember who they are as eternal divine beings and live that powerful space of themselves in their now. So you've had contact or connection points with a lot of the spaces I hold, but how did you end up here? Like, for those who are not familiar with that, what was your moment of coming across my work or me in this space?
Well, I've always, since a child, knew there was a place of home that
Mm.
was total love and total acceptance. And I've searched for that my whole life. And I don't even know how long ago now it was. It feels like forever I've known you. I was in a place where I needed that home. I needed to find that home. And I came across one of your videos on YouTube. And I watched it a couple of times and I cried all the way through it because it was home. You were expressing and holding space for home. And I just kept coming back. Anything you offered, I kept coming back because I knew in there, if I kept facing what I needed to face in me, that I would reach that point of home. And it happens every time.
Love it. Thank you. Thank you for that, Trudy. And I felt home with you. I did. The very first time we connected, I just was like, it's just this, and I do this with people. It's this sense of like, I use these words because it helps our human mind, but it's not perfect. Because chronologically, we would be more like sisters, you know, I know that. But every single person, it doesn't matter what their age is. It doesn't matter if they're a child or if they're 20 or if they're 30 or 50 or 70, or it doesn't matter. Every single person I meet connected with this work and our family here, I feel like a mother pulling my children into my chest that I haven't seen in forever. And it doesn't matter how old they are or who they are. I just love everyone so dearly and deeply. And I do believe that in another now, in another space of existence, we are a family. And we said we would come and we would be in this now together and we would do this work together. We would find each other. We may not remember everything right away, but it's this innate essence of our beings that we sense. And so we pick up on that, and it's enough. It's enough to say, I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be in this connection, you know?
I feel that we all remember what we're supposed to remember to fit us together.
I love that.
And then we expand out from that.
And I think the sharing like this, and like when we share in the chats or we share in different group spaces or individually, people will write me and they'll share all these really beautiful sacred things they pick up on, they understand. You do this a lot with the courses when you experience something in the courses or the sessions. But when we share, it's like, yeah, taking spaces of the picture and hooking them together to get a bigger, clearer picture, you know? uh, and we're so vast as in the understanding of ourselves as eternal, and then also in the understanding of ourselves as multidimensional and having these other spaces of existence, you know? We're so vast that this connection with each other where we share, it really helps because this is my knowing, okay? Like when you talk even in English dialect, and I speak in my English dialect, there's a vibration inside the words. And even though we're communicating what I'm communicating right now, a concept of understanding that makes sense based on the vocabulary words I'm choosing, there's another layer that we read with our spirit. Does that make sense? Yes. And so I can be saying these kind of things that sound very common and an understanding of just a communication here, but there's this other thing going on. For a long time, humans wanted to embrace telepathy. They still do, right? It's a cool thing, right? You speak with your being, really, and you convey complete thought instantaneous, you know? There is another method of communication that we never talk about, and we're going to start talking about it more, but it's the communication of the heart. And it's the communication of the heart, the way the heart communicates and, yeah, receives and transmits or gives information is through frequency and vibration that it picks up on in the connection point, period. Whether the mouth opens and speaks or sings or tones, or whether the person is silent and just is in the presence. The heart can read and interpret. Yes, at many, many levels in connection with, yeah, what the consciousness and the being, biological, physical, mental, emotional, energetic being needs.
And who we are. Like you can see who someone truly is.
Mm, I love that. And I think something that's inside of that thought is a why, possibly, that could be interesting. Like, why? Why can we see or feel or understand or know or all of the above who Trump someone truly is? And I think it's because they are in an alignment of themselves where they are authentically being them. You know what I mean? Like they're showing up and they're trusting and they're leaning in and they're putting themselves into that space of alignment. Uh, Maybe there's some hesitation, maybe there's some fear, because that's kind of normal to some extent. But it's like they would never let that fear or that hesitation get in the way of whatever is being birthed or coming forth or connecting through because of their trust. They're tapping in. Like what I mean is like when I show up and talk to you or you show up and talk to me, there's another level of understanding of what who is showing up. It's, you know, because that authenticity is there, because that availability is there. That means, yeah, my divinity in all layers and levels of my uh, specific connection is present,
Yes.
and as is in yours. So that opens, yeah, the energy connection that's taking place, and that establishes that communication at a level of clarity and availability that is a much higher flow of consciousness. So there's this conversation going on in the English dialect that's quite interesting for some, probably, but at the same time, there's a whole bunch of other things going on.
Many layers, many layers.
And
Yes.
that's why people will say, oh, I can feel the energy in my body, or my crown's opening, or my hands are vibrating, or they'll feel like more relaxed, or they'll say, I had somebody tell me once, they said, listening and speaking to you is like being in meditation. I thought that was so fun. Uh, I think it was Level Headed Wild Child. She interviewed me on her podcast. She has a YouTube channel. If you're watching this, you could go find her, Level Headed Wild Child. But she said listening to me is like meditating in a sense. It calms her, it like feels like it opens her up. But this is this space of ourselves that is the divine in form coming in contact with the other spaces of itself, the unity understanding. So, Trudy speaking to me, I'm hearing the divine in form as Trudy speaking to me, and then I'm registering the divinity, the sacredness, the expansiveness of that, yeah, frequency, yeah. And then I'm assimilating it, if you will, and then relaying back. Ha! So that's pretty.
It happens a lot when you tone.
Oh,
When
yes.
you tone, I can feel, and I tone at the same time. I can feel where it connects,
I love
and
it.
then it expands, and it just flows out and out and out. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
I love that. I love that. I'm going to try to enter this into the video. So on Zoom, which we're on right now for creating the video, you have to hit a certain setting in order to get it to pick up on continual sound. Like if you sing or tone, right now I don't have the setting on correctly for that. So it will cut us off. And I'm gonna create an audio space and pop it right in here. So if you want to tone and do what Trudy's saying, this is available right here. If you don't want to do it, you could just listen to it and or get to the other side of it, and the video will continue with some more speech, more.
You'll still get stuff out of it because it's
Yeah,
energy.
yeah, it's all energy. So we'll leave the tone space for you here, and we'll see you on the other side of the tone space for more talk. Okay. All right. Yasaneana oa. Yasane. Yana noa. Kea. Prosoia. Tabe iana nawa. Otoa ne iana kawakea. Apoa ye iana dea. Apoa ye iana dea. Okay, so we'll continue talking, Trudy. I love this conversation. So you found the space, it felt like home. You knew this was an alignment that was, waiting for you, and like you designed it for yourself. It felt right. Now you've been in a couple different spaces. You're in the Acasma grid, which I'm so grateful. Thank you for being
I
there.
was there first.
I
Like
love it.
I would watch the replays on YouTube and cry all the way through. But I just opened wide open with the grid space. I seen things I'd never seen before, like parts of me remembering who I am during those YouTube replays before I even started trying to connect with you personally.
I love that you bring that in because some people are a little standoffish with a replay or a video because they think it can't be as powerful as the live. But that's the feedback that I get again and again and again is that the videos are sometimes they say even more powerful because for whatever reason, people are finding, receiving massive insights, healing their bodies, physical, like miracle kind of healings coming into the body, shifts in their life, like in their relationships or jobs or whatever it is. And all these different spaces moving as they are allowing themselves to make connection with the Acosmo Grid videos. So let's give them a little background on this if you're finding us for the first time. The Acosma family of light in 2020 was basically birthed. And we always make a joke that, of course, Acosma showed up in 2020. Isn't that interesting? And we just knew we had to have this grid. I knew I had to build this grid. I had never heard of a light grid in my life. I had never heard of doing such a thing, but I just stepped into it. I just trusted myself and I just said, okay, I'll put this out there. And I sent some emails to some people and I said, hey, I met these people on like Instagram or YouTube or something like that. And I had a little account. I had like 20 people or something were following me. And I would say, do you want to be in this Acosma grid? And I had some clients that had started coming to me because they saw me on Instagram. I say, do you want to be in this Acosma grid of light? And they said, what is it? And I said, well, it's basically like a group of people getting together to anchor in higher light through our bodies, through our intention, the way we live our lives. And then once a month, we're going to bless that. And we're going to bless this actual grid of light that we're creating by being these people in all these different cities and all these different countries on all these, different spaces on the
Mhm.
planet emanating this light, So that's how you get a grid. And we anchor it into the planet and then we pull it up above the planet. And so they all showed up. Like I think we had 26 people in the very
It was
beginning.
beautiful. I would get shot all over the place. I would go up to the top of the universe and I'd go down underneath the earth and I'd go into the waters. It was amazing.
I love it. I love the feedback. And that's the kind of feedback we get. And even people that maybe haven't had it visual be very easy for them or sensations being very easy for them, but they want it, like they know that they desire to see more and feel more beyond the physical, understanding of everything. Even that space, people are feeling like they're opening up. And I feel like one of the most common things people see first is colors. If they don't see visions or shapes or like actual spaces or whatever, they'll see like a burst of purple come in. Their eyes are closed, but they'll just see like it'll turn purple. and then maybe it'll go away some, and then it'll come back purple. You know, it's really beautiful. Some people see other colors as well, but that's a really common one, which I find really beautiful. For me, purple represents like Christ consciousness, like a connection to a sacred space of divinity, you know? Uh, but that's another really cool thing about the Acasma grid is the Acasma family is made up of all different belief structures, you know? So we have people there that come from all different parts of the world, because now we're in, I don't know, a couple hundred people are in the grid now. And so we're all over the planet. And once a month, we have this beautiful Zoom call, and anybody who can make it, they come, and it's about an hour. And then if you can't make the live, like Trudy said, the videos are available on YouTube and you get to watch it. And it's free. It's free. Nobody pays to come to it or be in it. And I facilitate it. I take everybody in and guide everybody through, and I share any types of knowings and understandings that are coming in. And a lot of times we get messages, we get really clear messages from what we call the we, which is, you know, these spaces of divinity or higher consciousness, higher dimensional beings, source itself, uh, the earth itself, the energy consciousness of the earth. I believe I speak that a lot as well. Ancestors, Pleiadians. I don't get specific on here comes a message from the Pleiadians, because I knew in my being from the first time I started doing this work that the work I was doing was at a level of vibration, connection, consciousness that was actually up above the identification points. It was closer to a source space origin point, you know, but it encompassed all of those identification points. So
I call it the all.
the all, I love that as well. I love that as well. I heard we, so I went with we, but the all, I always like to think too that, you know, um, the understanding of the one within the many.
Mhm,
Yes.
mhm, mhm.
So sometimes the messages will come in though during the grid. Well, they always do, I guess. And that's really awesome too. So, but it's a fantastic community that's been built in addition. So these beautiful people show up to give of their time once a month on a Zoom call and or via video replay to connect in, to hold the intention and to be that space. And then as we go through the month, we know that the way we talk, the way we think, the way we treat others, the way we treat ourselves, that's all the way we run the grid, because every thought, every breath, every step, we're the living, breathing, you know, emanating grid of light. It doesn't happen one Saturday of the month. It happens every single moment, you know? And that to me is new earth energy. That's new earth consciousness, you know, to understand truly and take responsibility fully for the power you wield as an energetic being. So we have that, and then we have the Acasma pods of light, which we talked about in the last video that we did together, Trudy, where there's three pods, and Trudy's in the beacons of love,
Yes.
and that's a beautiful pod of light. It has a pod leader, a beautiful woman, Janet Kate, for that specific pod. We'll give a shout out to Janet Kate. She's the she is the original pod leader. We have a huge celebration coming up, 12/12. Trudy, we're going to have a huge celebration, 5 years of the grid. 5 years of the grid. I'm so excited. So we'll be celebrating Janet Kate as well, because she's been here since the very beginning. She is the original pod leader of them all. So, but we have these pods of light, and they are on Discord. It's a server where we have these different chat rooms, and it's just uplifting content, encouraging content, loving content, and teachings about Acasma quantum energy, which is this work we do and are in the awakening of humanity. So I love that you found the grid off the bat. A lot of people find their way via the grid to this work, to me, to the outreach itself, to all the spaces. Um, did you go to the pods when you first found out about them, or was that
No,
something?
no, 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 no. I I've spent a good deal of my adult life um, alone.
Okay.
Like as my kids grew up and moved away, then my husband worked away.
Mm.
And so we would get 3 or 4 days a month or every 2 months where we would just kind of fall into each other because we were so happy to see each other. The rest of the time was a lot of alone time. And so that was part of the expansion I had in the YouTube replay, was the desire to have a voice again. And I did a lot of expanding in the YouTube without feeling any self-confidence issues, which I had a lot of. And once it opened up, well, there was really no stopping me talking
No stopping.
or writing.
Yes. Oh, beautiful, beautiful though. All the stuff you share is so beautiful, Trudy. I'm grateful that you decided to open up and share it with us. So the videos were easier at first, being on,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then I made a connection with you and joined the pod lives or the grid lives. And that bigger expansion, I felt, well, I knew what I was feeling at that time, which was the connection of all the other people in the grid, all the other energy. I could feel that. I I could feel, I believe at that time, I knew that I was getting expansion from them,
Mm,
that I was finding things out about myself because they were there. And I
mm,
was aware of that at the time. And I would look forward to the grid every month because it was so amazing. It was just so amazing. It's all energy now, much more energy. I don't see
mhm.
see as much as I used to, but the energy now is like through my body, and I can feel where everybody is. But then I went from that to um, talking to you just one on one. And I don't know if you remember the first time I couldn't get it to work.
I forgot all about that.
I was, you could hear me going, "Are you there? Are you there? Are
Yes,
you there?
yes.
I know someone's there." And it was, but I just kept, no, this is happening. This is meant to happen, and it's going to happen today. And it did, and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And then a few months of that, and then you mentioned, I seen you talk about the pods, and I thought, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm too peoply yet.
Oh,
And I said,
God.
if you think I'm ready, and you said, "Oh, I think you're ready." And I haven't stopped talking since.
I love it. I love it. And you know that I love that you brought this into the conversation because that's a big space for so many people. And a lot of people are craving home. They're craving that safe, loving, uh,
Connection.
yeah. But at the same time, they're nervous, fearful, apprehensive, hesitant of connecting in with a group they don't know, which totally get, a woman they just met, or whatever. Um, and I love that. I feel like even just the grid, like everything is so layered. Every single thing we're doing and experiencing has so many different spaces to it. But there's that space of the grid that meets everybody right where they're at, whether it means you watch a video and you feel safe and comfortable in your own home on your own time frame, watching a video by yourself, no, and then eventually maybe if you feel to, you walk into the space where you say, I think I'm going to try to make a live this month, you know? And it's like, if you make it, you make it. And another really cool thing is if you show up at it and you want to keep your camera off, we have a lot of people who keep their camera off. You
I
just,
did that for a while.
yeah, yeah. So you see a name, you know, we see a name in the box, but we don't see the person, but they're there and we're grateful. And then eventually you see all of a sudden, you know, maybe it's months later, maybe it's a year later. Some of them, the camera comes on and they're sitting there. And like that in itself is so beautiful that it meets everybody right where they're at. It allows everyone to take in the space in a way that meets them, fits them, and everyone has the opportunity to feel home.
Mm, mm.
I just love that. And I never saw that coming when I built it. I didn't see that part of it. I didn't understand that that would be happening for people. And that's why, like, when you would say, and everybody says this to me, so you're not alone. Do you think I'm ready? I can't tell you how many times somebody has asked me if I think they're ready. And I come from, I see everyone and I read everyone energetically from the ready's already here.
Yes.
So for me, it's like, are you seriously going to ask me if I think you're ready? Because I'm going to tell you yes, you know. I know you are. I already am in contact with the space of you that is. So I love this conversation because it really lets us highlight the layers, you know, of what's
It's
available.
so expansive because even when you go into the pods or into the grid, you're going in with the stuff you're carrying still. And so I went in thinking that this is going to be like before, odd man out. I'm going to have, and how am I going to fit into this?
Mm,
And the fit, you just expand if you
mm,
just allow, step back when you need to and reassess and then flow on back in. It just will, it expanded me so much being in the grid and then again being in the pod
mm,
because it's nothing like a before.
mm. Yeah.
Everyone is there, is aligned with that, them,
Mm,
the all,
mm.
as they're supposed to be right now. And they want to move further in that.
Yeah. And there's so many variation points in these space in the pods and in the grid. You know, we've got people coming in that have been doing energy work for 40, 50 years.
Mhm.
They like they understand a lot of the terminology used in the spiritual world, the new earth, the ascension, you know, frequency, vibration, consciousness, higher self, higher mind, higher heart, all these things, you know. And then you have everything in between, all the way down to the guy that or lady or whoever that's coming in the door that's just like, I just know I'm supposed to be here, but I have no clue.
Mhm.
I've never heard this word before. I don't know that I'm energy. Like, what's a chakra? What's an energy center? What are these people a little crazy, but I like them. Um, and I
I
just,
like crazy.
but I feel like the space just is so vast in that way because you have people coming in from all these different increments and and then you got so much love. I noticed that. Like I because I am not able to write and be in there every single moment because I have all the things I'm doing to continue to be this outreach and this business and everything. But I do read it. I do catch the notifications and I scan through everything. And as much as I can, I get in there and I connect as well. But that's why I have the leaders to work with me and help me. So they each run those pods and assist these big groups. But there's so much love. It doesn't matter if somebody's writing in and sharing the most incredibly beautiful big space that they just had an aha moment or some miracle shift that's happened in their life or whatever, or if they maybe are struggling a little bit and it's not the best day. And, maybe it's the anniversary of the death of a loved one, or maybe it's a job thing didn't go the way they thought it would, or it's just off for some reason. Um, the love pours in. If and I know that everybody doesn't write, into the chats, and
Mhm.
it's the same understanding of camera off, camera on. You don't have to. We know, but there's a lot of people reading. There's a lot of people reading. And then at certain points, you'll see these people come in that we don't see them all the time, but they're coming in and they're sharing really beautiful love for the person that maybe was having a bad day. And I love how measured with um, respectful divine consciousness. I'll use that as the
Mm.
description. There's a measured, respectful, divine consciousness in each individual in these pods where they're not throwing up emotionally. You know what I mean? Like coming
Yes.
in and every day it's you know, yeah, a repeat cycle, lower thought process. It's not like that. That's not what this space is.
They're looking higher.
They're looking higher. And it's so awesome that out of 5 years of doing the Acasma grid, coming up in December this year, 2024, 5 years of doing the Acasma grid, and I think we've been doing the pods for three, maybe. I could be off on that, but I think it's three. Um, I think only 2 times have I had to talk to anybody one on one and it wasn't a fit. Two, two out of years. That's awesome. And it wasn't a negative experience. It was just like where you agreed upon.
Mhm.
No hard feelings. That's okay. It just we're a very positive based group. We believe what you focus on expands. We believe you should look for what's right and amplify the heck out of that. We believe if something is off, you have the right to share and be blessed by love of encouragement around you from those that are in the group with you. But everybody comes in with this measured, divine, sacred connection point that is giving them this wisdom as they are deciding, is this something I want to share? Is this beneficial to share for me and those around me? And I marvel at that. I'm really grateful for that. Did you see that too in the pods?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I I seen parts of myself too, as well, that, okay, this is bringing something to my attention, or this is triggering something in me. So I'm going to look at that. So I would step back and look. And then
Mm.
before the day would be out, I'd be in there because I would get something because everybody is looking higher.
Mm.
And so I trust more of what I'm seeing and hearing because I know that people are looking with love.
Oh, that's
And
beautiful.
so if I see or feel something, I may be the only one seeing that message
Yes.
because it's for me.
Yes.
And I can go back in and say, okay, thank you,
That's
or
beautiful.
just give back.
And that's so important because that's a very expansive thought to be giving everyone right now that's listening to us. That knowing that, say, 100 people are in a chat. Just hold this thought with me for a second, everybody. You're in a chat where 100 people have the ability to read and convey in that space. And someone comes in and shares something. The other 99 people could each have an entirely unique interpretation of what the one person shared. But most of the time, the older human, the spaces of ourselves before we came into these higher alignments of consciousness, would have a preconceived idea that everybody sees it the way we see it. They like everybody is seeing the same, and it's not. We're so diverse, we're so vast, but that makes us even richer, if you will, because that we are source in form. And if you for a second try to contemplate that, because it's actually impossible to completely understand that. And I don't ever want to even think we should. I don't,
Mhm.
because that would be that's like an inconceivable thought, right? That we should be able to understand completely source, ourselves as source. There's no way, because consciousness is eternal. That means it's always, always, always going to be growing and expanding. You can't catch it. You cannot catch up with it and box it and say, this is what God is. This is what source is. This is what, prime consciousness is, essence is. You can get an understanding. I go to the vibration of love, but it's not human love. But I feel like we're doing our best as humans in this experiential space to understand and to articulate and to convey and to live as and share from that knowing of ourselves and beyond ourselves. And when you get in these spaces with like-minded, higher consciousness beings, and there's many more on the planet, we're not the only one. We do not claim to be. We do not think we're the be all end all. But we are one of. uh, but you get the opportunity to see the spaces of yourself in the reflection of the divine that is coming in all these variation points. And I think
Yeah.
that's what you're saying, is that the reflection of the self through the interpretation point you're holding, and then being able to adjust it if you choose to, because you're realizing it's a message for the opportunity to expand.
Yeah. This, what I'm feeling in this second, isn't love.
Mm,
And I'm bringing it back to love.
mm,
And I just wanted to add on to what you're saying, when you can see the space that you're holding, and the pods leaders are holding, and the all is holding, and you can see that, and then you see the spaces. I see the spaces out in
mm,
other spaces, on other programs and everything, where they're staying and doing and rising the same way.
mm.
And I just think, wow, like we're all getting the message. We're
Yes, I love
all
that.
hearing the message.
It's almost for me, it is for me extremely empowering and confirming when I see it happening in spaces I have no connection with, and even in spaces that are a bit different. Like I follow someone that studies the history of the world and the
Yeah,
history of humanity. And they will come up with understandings and teachings that back up, are in absolute alignment with what we talk about.
yeah.
And we're in two separate genres, if you will, right? But that's to me confirmation of, we really are awakening. We really are this massive space of divine consciousness having variation points to know itself. And so when the variation points all start lining up, you're like, whoa, this is really us.
That goes back to what we were talking about in the pod, that everybody is holding the space that needs to be held so that we all fit together.
Yes.
And
And
then it expands.
yes, and
They're
the
holding their space.
picture coming in, being able to see more of ourselves, understand more of ourselves. Yes, that's beautiful. It's so expansive, it really is, but we are so, yes. And so these spaces are starting to come into our everyday lives, these connection points, these communities, um, that are so expansive because we've opened up to and allowed these alignments of ourselves. So our reflections are there, these communities are there, these, connection points are there. So, well, we've done pretty good. I really love this conversation. I really love that we started with energy. I'm not sure how I'm going to do the video, we'll see how the video unfolds, but I know I just always stay present, and I just knew we were supposed to just go right in. and do what we did. So I think part of being able to understand what we're talking about was also in that energy space we did to begin with, almost like a calibration of the body, the being, the mind.
Yes.
Yeah. So I like that a lot as well. Um, so the other day I posted that video of Destin when we went down to the beach, Destin,
Yes.
Florida.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Oh my gosh, that was the most expansive one I've done yet. That was year 5. I've done them 5 years in a row. And interestingly enough, because here we are in this conversation, I didn't even realize this till I'm just talking to you here. So I do a Time to Rise events, 2 a year. I do Destin, Florida beach event, and then I do Sedona, Arizona. We climb the Red Rocks and we do ceremony and energy activation, and then we do gridding and assisting timelines and so forth. And we probably do more, but I'll just go with those words right here. But what I just realized talking to you here is I did the very first destination event in 2020 before I had even built the grid, before I had even taught my first Acasma quantum energy course. I was already doing a Time to Rise events. And people will say to me, well, what is a time to rise? Like, what is that? And everybody thinks, and it's okay, it makes sense, I get it. They think that they're like retreats where it's going to help the individual, um, connect into remembrance and uh, move itself into a more empowered life, right? Yes, and that's there, absolutely. But you know me, if you do know me, you know me. That's just the beginning, and then it goes into this whole connection to the ancestors, connection to Earth itself, connection to reality lines, higher dimensional. Um, but how fascinating.
That's the difference from a retreat. A retreat, you go, in my experience, you
Yeah.
go and then you leave feeling empowered and feeling something new about yourself. But in from what I've seen, I haven't been to one with you, but I've been to one with you, that that's where you make all the connection.
Mm,
That's where everyone is connected, and you take the connection home with you. The one in the standing in the water,
mm,
and like I could feel myself being there. I could feel it. I could feel as the women were standing in different spots. I see men too, but I noticed the women first. They they were standing in different spots, and I could feel the energy of absorbing what they were learning and grounding it in and pondering it and then connecting it out to everybody else. I
mm.
could feel all of that.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, I just knew to do them. It's interesting because I shared that video and that event happened in April, but I misplaced the USB. My daughter came with me and she took all the photos and made all the, video and photo content. Some of the photos came from people that went to the event, but most of them came from my daughter doing them. And first, she misplaced, or she was working on getting it all ready for me. Yeah, that's what it was. She was working on getting it all ready for me, and it took her about 2 months because there was a lot of photos to go through, 4 days or 3 days of photos. And then I misplaced the USB because we moved, and I was like, "Where's this USB? I can't find it." And I wanted to make the video, but I said to myself, like I always do, I said, I'll make it when I'm supposed to make it. Like it's going to be okay. Like
It'll show up.
it'll show up when it's ready for me to make it. And sure enough, it showed up just about 2 weeks ago, I guess. And so I started putting it together and it just evolved into I knew to put light language behind it and give the information to a certain extent of what we had done. There's a lot more to it. I could probably do a whole video on just what happened there and what we saw and heard and so forth. But somebody had asked in the comments, I didn't get to reply yet on the YouTube video. They said, what is sacred in Destin, or why did you choose Destin? And in 2020, well, probably in 2017, 2018, I went to that beach and I went to the resort near there with my family. And I wasn't doing any of this yet. I didn't have Zoom, I didn't have Instagram, I didn't have any of it. I had a regular everyday life with a regular everyday job, you know what I mean? And I remember going to that place and I was sitting on the beach with my husband and my daughter, regular everyday moment, right? Waves coming in, sun shining, seagulls squawking, whatever they do. And all of a sudden, my vision, what my physical eyes, they were open. It just changed. It was like I saw the beach, but I was there with these people I didn't know. And I was standing there with them, and we were doing ceremony in a sense. I really wasn't sure what it was at the moment I was having the vision. I was just kind of like, what the heck's going on? But I think I jumped or saw into that space, but my eyes were open. My physical eyes were open. And I was sitting there with my husband and my daughter in 2017, but it's like I was in probably 2022. And it was very, very fast. And it was like, boom, boom. And then I was back and I was looking around and they didn't even know it happened. And I'm like thinking to myself, what the heck just happened? And I'm like, okay, I'm not drunk. I didn't take any drugs. Like, I'm not on plant medicine. Like, what just happened? And so I'm sitting there and I'm looking around, and then I had this massive rush of emotion, but beautiful. Like, I didn't cry. It wasn't like scary. It was just like what we talk about, where it just feels like home. I just felt it rush through my whole body, and I had never felt it before in this life. And I heard in my being, invite them, reach out, they will come, tell them to come, make it available, they'll come. And I'm like, who's coming? Where are we coming to? What are you talking about? Like, I'm like, and then the rest of the little vacation I was on, you know how people have deja vu, and sometimes
Yes, yes, yes.
okay. And lately, deja vu's been weird for me. It's been like another level of deja vu.
Mhm.
But it was like deja vu, but it was like futuristic. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I wasn't seeing something and going, oh my God, I've already seen this. I was seeing something and going, I'm seeing the future. I know this is coming.
yeah. This is a possibility.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly it. Okay, so that kept happening for the rest of the trip. In like 2017, I would be at a poolside space and I would see it and I'd go, I would know that that wasn't like tangibly in front of me, but it looked like it was. And then it would go away. And then it materialize again in another space and it go away. And so I said to my husband, I have to bring people here. He's like, wait, what? He's so good. I love him so much. He's so many times he have had to have said in his head, okay. But he backs me up 100%. So I am so grateful. But I said I have to bring people here. And he said, what do you mean you have to bring people here? And I said, I'm supposed to hold like retreats or gatherings or something. And I'm just like, I haven't even thought about this in so long. But and then in 2020, I had thought about it in 17, 18, 19. I wanted to do it. We kept going, my family and I, every year we would go, but it would be like, I just, I wasn't supposed to do it yet, but I just knew I
Mhm.
was gonna. And then 2020, it was, it's in Florida. The event was in Florida. Live in Florida. So in 2020, in spring, they shut down like spring break because of the pandemic and all. And I hear in my being, this is the year, go, do it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Of all years? Like, I don't even know if the hotel is open or like we can do a group, you know? And so it was like, well, just research it, just look, and it's gonna work. Just do it. It's gonna work. Just do it. And I was like, I had this little following. I hadn't built a big group of people yet, you know. And it was like, it doesn't matter, just do it. And I wasn't in my head about it. I wasn't like, I don't know enough people or, I just didn't do that. I just said, okay. And I just
Next.
exactly one foot in front of the other. And so I researched time of year would be good. And I was like, do it in May. This is all just like my inner knowing, guidance of the divine within. And so I put it out on my Instagram, I think, in 2020, right? Maybe around February or March, somewhere in there. And the event was going to be, I think I had it in May. And two people came. One woman, shout out to Candy, came all the way from California to Florida. And one man came all the way from Key West to the top of Florida. And I did not know them except for Instagram. That was it. uh, they had just, like you, found my work, felt connected, and wanted to come. It was such a powerful space. It was
Mm.
so beautiful. And how awesome that a man and a woman, the very first one, a man and a woman. And then they, have grown over the years. But that, I just realized I did those before I even did the grid, before I even had said the words Acasma quantum energy, before I had even taught anybody, and now we're in a space where we've got courses and we've got groups and we've got grids and we've got all this beautiful community and outreach and those a time to rises. They came.
Surrender, beautiful surrender.
Yeah, trust,
Yeah.
trust, 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 right?
I feel that more and more and more now. I've always had a really good sense of intuitive sense of go when it was time to go to do something. But I feel it more and more now since under your teaching, where I feel it here. It just opens up. And I know that every step is going to come to me as it's supposed to.
That's a powerful way to be able to live, isn't it?
It is.
It's a
Oh,
it's like really I don't know, this isn't perfect, but it's like breathing, really breathing. It's like we were breathing, but we were like survival breathing or something.
right.
And this is like living breathing, living breath, the breath of life. It is really the breath of life through the form. That's an emotionally packed sentence.
It is very much so.
Oh my goodness. So these spaces, they're so beautiful. I'm so grateful to be them. And they're just some of the spaces we are in this outreach with the Cosmic Quantum Energy. I'm so grateful for all the ways you connect in with us, and share and bless the spaces of us.
I'm so grateful for all the ways that those spaces became available to me. Beautiful.
And I know that, I trust that, I really believe 100%. It's like, it's already everything it needs to be, but at the same, and then I'm grateful for it, and I'm in love with it. I'm madly in love with my life and with all the ways and spaces and people and all that's in my life. But I feel like universe is just kind of giggling a little behind me going, and you haven't seen nothing yet. Like it's just even more beauty is there, and more expansion and more love, more peace, more freedom for all. And that was the whole reason why I started these things, all the spaces, no matter what they're called or how they're given or available, made available. It was because I wanted to help, assist, be available to offer guidance and activations energetically. Yes, for people to be free.
Yes.
That was and is my,
And understanding what freedom means.
yes. That's big. And a lot of people will say, I want to be free, but they're in the process of, yeah, allowing themselves to be free.
Right.
Those are really two different things, wanting to be free and allowing yourself to be free. I didn't allow myself for years. I wanted to be free,
Hmm.
but I wasn't willing to release some of the mindsets or beliefs or behavior traits, personality traits, whatever you
Yeah.
want to call them. I didn't want to stop acting like and being me in the way that I was being me. I wanted to complain. I wanted to be frustrated. And people say, "Oh, no way, nobody wants to complain." Ew, there.
Yeah.
Haha. It's a really big space to realize we're addicted to complaining, or we're addicted to judgment, or we're addicted to frustration, or whatever it is. And nobody can make anybody else see that.
Mhm.
My sister, God bless her, I have two sisters and they're both amazing. And my oldest sister, I remember having a conversation with her when I was still wanting to be free, but not ready to allow myself. And I remember I went to her house for the night to get away and reset myself. And I had so many things going on, health wise and mental wise, and all this because I was just so not free. And
Mhm.
I remember having a conversation with her, and she was very calm and very chill. She's like 20 years older than me. And so she's just sitting there across from me in the living room, and she's just letting me vent, which was probably emotional throw up at the time, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
And she's just letting me vent. God bless her. And at one point, I said something I was unhappy with, I was complaining about. And she said, then don't do it. And I got so mad at her. I got so mad at her, Trudy.
Oh, I feel that.
I wanted to walk out of her house, but I
Mhm.
didn't. I said to her, I don't have a choice.
Hmm.
And she sat there and she just looked at me and she said, yes, you do. You're always making a choice. She goes, if you don't like it, leave. And I said, but I don't want to leave. She goes, that's your choice. She goes, own the fact you're making a choice and you'll shift your energy.
What a beautiful moment.
Oh my God, it was huge. Now it took me about an hour or two though, because I was angry for a little
Mhm.
bit. Because I thought, no, she's got to be wrong. There's no
Mhm.
choice.
Mhm.
I have to do the job I hate because I have to pay my mortgage, and I have to pay my mortgage because I have to have a house to live in. And you know what I mean? And I was all these have tos. And then I was hearing her saying, no, that's a choice. And when it came down to it, and I rationalized and like stepped back and I observed and I looked at what she was saying to me, I thought, you know what? She's right. This is a choice. And it's a choice I want to make. And all of a sudden, I gained my power back because it wasn't in charge of
Yeah.
me. I was choosing to be in
Yes,
charge of her.
yes, yes, yes. I've been in those spaces. I've been in so many of those spaces. And please, maybe they're not wrong. Maybe they are, but I still have no choice. Mm. And yes, yes, finding the choice,
Yeah.
finding where it sits in for me, it's finding where it sits in my body,
Mm.
the choice, and releasing that. Yes, I've had those spaces, so many of those spaces. I was a very, very, very stubborn person. And it wasn't stubborn that everybody had to do it my way. I was stubborn in that I'm going to find my own way and I'm going to do it good.
Yeah, yeah. No, I relate to that. I relate to that. A sense of like, I'll do what I want and I'll prove that, I can defy this. I can defy this odd or this way of looking at it. And there's this, I don't know how to put it, but there's this, it's almost like a barrier, yeah, that is in place when a human is navigating remembrance. And that's what we're all doing. That's what
Mhm.
I was doing in that moment. That's what my sister had
Yeah.
already done and was still doing. We're always, always, always doing it. We're navigating remembrance. And there's like a barrier at each massive shift point. And it's not a negative. It's like a safety mechanism.
Yes. Yes.
Because when you confront that barrier that says, um, yeah, this is who you are. Do you see yourself? Do you register yourself at this exact space of your belief and how you're being you? And the minute you register that in contact with that barrier, it is like a pushback you feel,
Yeah.
it's not a bells and whistles, unicorns and roses. It's a pushback, but it's set up like that to be a safety mechanism so that vibrationally you're in the most optimal alignment of you. Because if that wasn't there and you tried to step into a space of yourself that you were not ready to be, it's impossible. You can't force energetic shift. You can't force conscious awakening. It only happens through the flow of the energy actually being able to be in that space of itself.
Could you
And
imagine seeing all of the fear
mm,
all at once? We're just given little pieces and little pieces and little pieces and little pieces and little pieces so that we gain, for me, it was to gain trust in myself to
mm,
overcome the next little piece.
absolutely. Increments. I use that word. I love that.
Yes.
Pieces and increments. Um, but even in that, that knowing of we give ourselves, universe gives us, God gives us, whatever your
Mhm.
layout is, increments and pieces that are exactly what we need in order to approach that barrier, that buffer zone, that safety mechanism, and engage in the most optimal manner for our continued expansion. Even that in itself, to just allow yourself that thought, whoever's watching, listening, maybe somebody's um, really feeling the barrier right now, the
Mhm.
pushback right now. And they're like, oh my God, yes, I get it. I'm there. I'm having a hard time swallowing the fact that I chose this, that I made this is a choice.
But
What?
I work my way out of it.
Yeah, just allow the space, allow the understanding that these are increments you designed specifically, perfectly, divinely, masterfully, gloriously, beautifully. You designed whatever it is. Yes, that is the mechanism of message, of understanding of how you get to move through that particular space into the next space of you. It's all you. It was all me. It was all Trudy. No one can do it for us, but we are in our own individual spaces of alignment. Yes, divinely created to take these journeys of expansion. It is what it's all about. And these connection points that come into our paths, like friends and communities and mentors and guides and teachers, and all these ways in which we bring ourselves pieces of the puzzle,
Mm.
They are here to assist that expansion we're all experiencing. And we get to be this. Let's everybody take that home with them today.
Mhm.
We get to be this. That's big, because there's the other sentence that's available and you can have it. And I had it at one point in my life, is I have to be this.
Mm.
Have
Mm.
to
Mm.
implies no choice. Get to implies choice. Yes, that's empowerment. That's freedom.
Yes, 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 yes.
All right, Trudy, I think we're going to wrap this baby. I think this has been a really good call. Thank you for being this
It's been
space with me.
beautiful. Thank you.
I love it on so many levels. I look forward to getting it all edited and put together and ready to share with the world. And following the other video, I feel like we're maybe onto something new. Who knows? Maybe we'll be making more of these as and if you feel to do so, and just continuing to share.
I love it.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, so we'll go ahead and send a huge wave of love to everyone who connected in and however you did so. We love
Yes.
you unendingly. We bless your journey with you, and we stand beside you, and we know that you can do it. You've got it, and you are doing it beautifully and masterfully. And if you aren't already in our beautiful community, the Acasma Family of Light, we would love to have you join us. If this resonates with you, reach out. sacredexpansion.com, join the free communities right there on the homepage, and you can be in our beautiful Acasma Planet of Light and Healing grid that we spoke of here, and you can also join a pod of light, and you can allow yourself to move into these spaces of community and connection on the higher flow of the divine in form. So thank you all for all the ways in which we are being us. I'm honored to walk with each and every one of you.
Yes, yes, yes,
Unending blessings upon
yes,
you, holy ones.
yes, 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 yes.
Unending. All right, beautiful Trudy. Thank you so
Thank you,
very
Andrea.
much. I had such a good time. What
I
a,
loved our chat.
what a blessing.
If
And
we were a cake, oh my gosh. The layers.
the layers and the deliciousness of us and our layers.